A stunning year in sports. Caitlin Clark, Shohei Ohtani, and record viewership. It was also a year highlighted by the pageantry and competition of the Paris Olympics. In sports this year, everything was richer, brighter, bigger. From the gilded glamour of the Paris Olympics to the neon searchlights of the Las Vegas Strip to the record-breaking crowds watching Caitlin Clark sink dazzlingly deep three-pointers, 2024 featured superstars rising to meet the moment. Just 10 months after signing a then-record $700 million, 10-year contract, Shohei Ohtani of Japan took the Los Angeles Dodgers to the World Series, where it beat the New York Yankees for the title. The Boston Celtics won their league-best 18th NBA championship ring. In Las Vegas, the Kansas City Chiefs celebrated their second straight Super Bowl title with the most famous fan on the planet, Taylor Swift, cheering on her boyfriend, the tight end Travis Kelce. But even in a season of so many superlatives, one athlete best captured the zeitgeist of 2024, Clark. Brazen in her passing, clutch in her shooting, she drew frenzied young fans when she shattered the collegiate scoring record at Iowa and led her team to the NCAA championship game. There, the Hawkeyes lost to a perfect Dawn Staley-coached South Carolina squad, drawing a record audience of 18.9 million people on ESPN, about 4 million more than the men's title game the next night. Then, as the Indiana Fever's no-one pick en route to winning Rookie of the Year, Clark lifted WNBA attendance figures to a 22-year high and brought record TV audiences, which averaged more than 1 million viewers each time the Fever played. She and her fellow rookie Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky continued their collegiate rivalry, driving the mainstream sports conversation. "This moment was a combination of a lot of energy, effort, and excellent timing," said Nefertiti Walker, professor of sport management at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. The timing of the Olympics, the timing of Caitlin Clark, who is a generational player, and the juxtaposition of her to Angel Reese, and all of the national dynamics around race, it was a perfect storm. For men's sports in 2024, it was big business as usual. For women's sports, the stories, the product, and the investments were finally proving to be good business. Witness the lines at Rough and Tumble in Seattle, a 2-year-old bar dedicated to showing men's and women's sports equally. Iowa women's basketball fans first sold out the bar for several games in 2023. Then in 2024, lines went around the block for every game for the 250-seat venue. A lot of people talk about the Caitlin Clark effect, and we certainly saw that, but I think that's just a sign of the fact that everything is changing, Jen Barnes, the Rough and Tumble owner, said. She also saw patrons pack the bar for the U.S. women's deaf national team route of Australia, and had to turn away fans for the National Women's Soccer League Championship that saw Brazil's own generational player, Marta, lead the Orlando Pride to their first title. "The biggest difference is that there's finally financial investment happening," Barnes added. "There are more women athletes and more women decision-makers in sports media, and that's increased the amount of women's sports programming. There are also more women's leagues, notably the 16 professional women's hockey league backed by Mark Walter, the controlling owner of the Dodgers, and his wife, Kimbra. In 2025, a third U.S. women's professional volleyball league will debut, along with 3-on-3 basketball, women's lacrosse, and baseball in 2026. The WNBA negotiated a $2.2 billion media rights deal over 11 years starting in 2026, albeit a fraction of the NBA's approximately $77 billion deal. But younger audiences are finding their sports content online, where female athletes have built their brands by telling distinctive, personal stories. Clark and Reese drove the highest social media buzz of any two players in the WNBA. They also saw the flip side of social media, a surge in trolls and online abuse. Reese, who is black, said that since she and Clark tangled in college she had been getting death threats. Some, Reese said in her podcast Unapologetically Angel, were from Clark's fans. Nefertiti Walker, who wrote Slaying the Trolls, Why the Trolls Are Very, Very Wrong About Women and Sports, with David Berry in 2024, said she was torn by the double-edged attention. "It's tied into quite literally growing the game," Walker said. "But it also feeds into some of the violent pieces of fandom that we see. That terrifies me." Mary Harvey, the chief executive of the Center for Sport and Human Rights, said that athlete harassment and abuse, regardless of gender, was the single biggest issue globally. "We know a fraction of what's really happening," she said. The harassment that's happening on social media is horrific for all athletes. At the Men's European Soccer Championships in Germany in September, the Union of European Football Associations, the governing body, ran a program to monitor and address online abuse on the social media platforms TikTok, Meta, and X. The platforms flagged more than 9,000 posts for review in group play. Jeremiah Duru, the director of Sports and Society Initiative at American University Washington College of Law, said that the abuse was a function of greater fan involvement in sports. There's no question that sports are getting bigger. There's more fan involvement in the form of in-game betting, prop bets, he said, referring to side bets. We have seen an increase of fans attacking players for not doing what they're supposed to do, for their prop bets or for their daily fantasy teams. As bettors look for the next sure thing, 2024 will be remembered for how a handful of superstars approached the twilight of their careers. Cristiano Ronaldo, 39, Portugal's soccer superstar, is making an estimated $214 million a year at Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia. Since 2022, he has yet to win a title. Lionel Messi, 37, voted Major League Soccer's most valuable player, was the highest paid player in league history with a guaranteed compensation of $20.4 million. He lifted Inter Miami to the top seed in the playoffs, but Miami lost in the opening round. Formula One's Lewis Hamilton, 39, will earn a reported $100 million a year when he switches from Mercedes to Ferrari in 2025. But under the lights of the Las Vegas Strip in November, Max Verstappen of Red Bull, the 27-year-old sensation, captured his fourth straight Drivers' Championship point. One of the world's greatest tennis players, Rafael Nadal of Spain, 38, winner of 22 Grand Slam singles titles, including a record 14 French Open championships, retired in November at the Davis Cup as Spain was eliminated. Only Serbia's Novak Djokovic, 37, remains from tennis's Big Three. He punctuated his year by finally winning an Olympic gold medal at Roland Garros clay to capture his Golden Slam. The Paris Games showcased the Olympic idol of athletic achievement: higher, stronger, faster, and the lows of human behavior. For the first time, female athletes equaled the number of male athletes. The U.S. gymnast Simone Biles and the swimmer Katie Ledecky amassed career gold medal totals that vaulted them into another athletic stratosphere. Leon Marchand, France's swimming sensation, won 4 individual golds, joining only Kristen Otto, Michael Phelps, and Mark Spitz to accomplish this feat.